Yeah, that's what we did last time.
No, we need to shorten up our intro. That was another big feedback I got last time.
Okay, I can do that easy. First, let me hear Christian's mic. Go ahead.
Go on.
7 jams.
It's a little bit better. I like it.
It's way better.
What else do I do? I don't know what else to do.
Do you know that Trey told me one time that blowing on food does not actually cool it down?
You always make these things up.
No, that's a very real thing that he said to me.
You make up these things that I might or might not have ever fucking said. You're just like, trust that I won't remember, so you just say that it happened.
For sure this happened.
I don't think it did.
It sounds like something Trey would say.
Right? Thank you.
What's some of the other stuff that you say that I've said before? There's some preposterous accusations out there.
The other day you said black people can't read. I was like,
Trey also
I did not
brought
say
up the unsubstantiated claim that nicotine helps you digest food better, and then pulled up like the first Google article he found to support that claim.
That's
like
true.
You see what I'm talking about?
He just pulls up a Joe Rogan podcast and sends it to you.
He's like, bro, they said it in this.
We can talk about Joe Rogan's on a new Freddie Gibbs album.
That is great. That is really
It's pretty awesome.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are your hosts, Blake, Christian, and Trey. This is the Totally Biased Music Podcast, a podcast for music listeners by music listeners. And today, we got a doozy, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking Graduation by Kanye West's third studio album by what many believe to be the GOAT.
Here we go.
Brief introduction. This is from Apple Music. If College Dropout was their introduction to an underdog and late registration of victory lap for a newly anointed champion, then Graduation crystallizes Kanye West's stratospheric success in 24-karat sound. Like the teddy bear mascot being hurtled into outer space on the album's cover, Kanye's third album pushes the reflective rhythms and musical imagination to places only hinted at on his previous two albums. So I'm not going to read that whole bio.
That's a lot.
That's a quick intro. With that being said, I just want to start this off. Where do you guys think this ranks in terms of the initial trilogy with Kanye, the first three albums that he put out?
Go ahead, Christian. I see you making a face. No, I see Christian making a face. Yeah.
I mean, I would agree. For me, I think it is the GOAT. And it might have a little bit to do with like the nostalgic factor for me, just because it's something I resonate so much more with in terms of just like growing up and being in this kind of, I was in this stupid little skater phase. I know it might not look like it now, but but it was one of those that just will always continue to resonate with just like this super fun time in my life. I think the other ones are, like the ones that we're comparing it to are just still amazing. And it was the first that I got to immerse myself in terms of, I never got into Kanye until really all three had been out. I listened to a couple of tracks and stuff like that, but was never huge on it. So I think that, in my opinion, it's number one for me.
Right. Yeah. It did come out 2007, so we were fairly young at the time. Think Late Registration and College Dropout are really early 2000s, so it's probably before we really started listening to hip hop music. Yep. Trey, what do you think in terms of those three?
I think it's a solid 2. I think College Dropout's just too monumental to not give it the 1 seed.
Okay.
Late Registration's great, but Graduation just has so many like huge hits. And what's that line in Barry Bonds where he's like, hold on, it's
which I love that song.
Oh, the song's awesome. He's just spitting. He's like, how you going to say I ain't got no low head because my Dior got me more model head? I'm insulted. You should go ahead and bow so hard until your knees hit your forehead.
Yeah.
Dude, like, bar.
Yeah, it's a great line. I also remember Randy. Shout out to Randy. He made a sweater when I was a sophomore in high school, and all it was a black sweater, and in white lettering, it said, you should go ahead and bow so hard that your knees hit your forehead, which I thought was awesome. And that's all the sweater said, no graphic or anything.
You just love that sweater?
I don't have it. Randy had it. It was his.
I bet he doesn't have it anymore. I feel like Randy's probably lost clothes. Sorry, Randy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would. I gotta agree with Christian. I think it definitely takes the cake. I think just in terms of what this album did for the trajectory of like Kanye himself, but also hip hop in general. I think it just carries so much more weight than College Dropout and Late Registration. Not to say that those albums aren't equally phenomenal and monumental, which they are, and they definitely started his career. But just the direction he went here was unlike anything at the time. And so, yeah, to me, and, you know, going back, re-listening to it, I didn't really form that opinion until recently when we decided we were doing this. I listened to it probably 3 or 4 times, and man, just the run that he goes on from really Stronger all the way through Flashing Lights. I mean, 3 through 9. It's just I could listen to it.
Drunken Hot Girls, though. Like, come on, that song's
I
good.
love that song.
Oh my god, that song's bad.
It's so fucking bad. It's so bad.
So bad. Oh, can we pause for just a second and back up to Blake just kind of jumping in the intro there without like any debate of him doing that? Like, is this just Blake's world and we're living in it now?
I thought we had decided that was the direction we were going. I thought that was kind
I'm
of
not super comfortable with you being the dictator in this triad that we have.
You know what we should do is we should let everybody decide whose intro was better, your boring NPR one or my very enthusiastic upbeat one.
I prefer to not put it up to a Democratic vote.
Oh, right.
No,
okay.
Yeah. I don't think that's a great call for me, personally.
Okay.
Your intro is better. Whatever.
Where do we want to start? We want to do least favorite songs?
Yeah, we can do least favorite songs.
Like, I was going to talk about, like, kind of when we heard it for the first time, if you can remember that. Because I really enjoyed that section last time, but...
Yeah, that's actually good.
I like that.
Where's the first time that you guys actually listened to the album?
Christian, you're up.
The first time I listened to the entire album all the way through, it was way, way, way after its release. I couldn't even tell you, but I remember resonating with Can't Tell Me Nothing. So my dad was a pretty badass motherfucker. He still is. But when we were kids, me and my brother were into aggressive inline skating. And I know that doesn't seem hardcore, but I can tell you.
It wasn't.
It really was. But my dad he built us this half pipe that we had in the backyard. It was we thought we were the fucking coolest kids on the block because, well, we were the coolest kids on the block.
Right.
And me and my brother used to just go hours on end watching aggressive inline skate videos. I feel like it gets less cool every time.
As you tell the story,
does.
right?
Yeah.
No. But we've all had that phase.
But there was this sick little edit that somebody had put together with "Can't Tell Me Nothing" on it, and it was the fucking first time I heard that song, and was just blown away. And so that was kind of even my first like immersion into Kanye in general.
Yeah. That's that. I feel like that's kind of that time period, 2005 to 7, just because of our age. It's like we don't really experience those albums until later. Was that the same thing that happened with you, Trey?
Yeah, mine was more so the first Kanye album I ever really listened to is 808s and Heartbreak.
Same. I was going to say that.
Which is, not exactly the most Kanye of Kanye albums, or it is the most Kanye of Kanye albums, depending on the Kanye of the day.
Yeah.
And so I remember really giving Graduation like a thorough listen to leading up to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, because Kanye did the Good Fridays. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
He would do every Friday. He would like drop like a single either off the album or like just kind of some random collabs with like people from Good Music. That's when everyone was kind of hopping in the rap gangs, You had Good Music. You had like Cash Money. You had All City Chess Club, which was like Asher Roth and who else was in Lupe Fiasco? Those little cats. And so I remember like leading up to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, my friend Graham, if y'all remember that guy from high school.
I do, and I'll tell you why I remember him in a second.
Yeah, but he was a Kanye nut, before I knew anyone was a Kanye nut. And so we would like kind of, hang out after school and do whatever you did after school when you're a senior in high school. And I remember
legal
one
activities.
time, only legal activities, definitely not activities that were shortly made legal in Denver, Colorado, a few years after that. And we would, we'd listen to music, obviously. And I remember listening to Graduation and being like, oh, okay, like I kind of get where this guy came from before this whole like 808s thing.
Right.
Obviously I'd heard all the hits and he'd been pretty popular, like publicity wise. I think that was way after he said George Bush doesn't care about black people and all that. So
it was that was around the same time, right? Katrina was 2000.
Katrina was 2007.
Yeah,
I think.
Before I talk about the first time I heard it, I remember Graham so vividly because he used to religiously tell people that Kanye said YOLO before Drake did. And he used to say it all the time because he says it in Drunken Hot Girls. He says, you only live once, do whatever you like. And Graham used to tell people that all the time. I remember it specifically. But yeah, I'm the same as you. I listened to 808s first. I fell in love with it. Obviously, we're going to have to do a whole one on that. I love 808s, but I think I went through a run of like 808s into My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy before I circled back and listened to that original trilogy that he put out. And I think I really got more into College Dropout first just because of the production standpoint of it and kind of that intro to Kanye West. And I just followed the releases from there. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really love Graduation when it first came out. It took me a few listens to like it. It took me a few more listens after that to really love it. But now his discography is so good. It's hard to rank it, but it's probably top 4 for me. I would say it's over 5, but it's not top 3 for me.
Is it below The Life of Pablo?
No, it's above The Life of Pablo. I'm not a big Life of Pablo guy. I'm not Chad. I'm not Chad.
Shout out, Chad.
Yeah. So, what do you guys want to do? You want to get into least favorite songs first?
Yeah, we do least favorite.
All right, Christian, lead us off.
Ooh. Least favorite or least favorites?
Least favorites, plural.
Drunken Hot Girls, easily up there.
This is fucking
I literally
insane to me.
Can't stand any bit of it. I've listened to it 3 times today to just try and give it a real, honest go. And every single time I became violently angry. I was just on a leisure walk. It's beautiful here in Denver, Colorado. And there was this elderly lady walking across the street, and I've never wanted to murder someone in cold blood so badly. I'm also going to throw I Wonder in there. And yeah, we're not going to talk about what I just said. We're just move. We're
coming back to that. We're absolutely coming back to that. What did she look like? What was she wearing?
It wasn't her. She was just great.
Not that it matters what a woman's wearing. I'm not saying
that it matters.
She looked like a slut. She was asking for it.
All right. Okay. Asking for you to murder her in cold blood because you dislike the Kanye song.
Yeah, she gave off that vibe. Okay. I wonder. And then you got any others?
That's going to be the thing I get called into HR about.
Y'all aren't going to agree with this, but my reasoning for will make sense, and it is stronger. Listen, hear me out. I appreciate the song. But also at the time of this coming out was this weird time in me growing up and cinema that everyone thought that they should make these UFC never back down styled movies, and Stronger was the goddamn theme song to every fucking one of them.
He's not wrong.
And I just can't stand it.
It fits the trailers so well. They can't help themselves.
It does. Like, it's a great training montage track.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Okay, so those are your 3. Trey, what do you got?
Okay, so Drunken Hot Girls because it's hot flaming dog shit.
I don't understand how y'all don't love the part where he's talking about how the girl wants to be a singer and he says la 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 la. That's how the fuck you sound. That's such a good line.
It's just like for such a relatively like serious album, like it's just bad. Okay, so while Barry Bonds is an absolute heater, the chorus of Barry Bonds is terrible.
Okay.
But not Barry Bonds the track, just the chorus. And then really that's kind of it. I Wonder is not great.
Okay.
Can we talk about can we talk about how genius it was for Kanye to like mash up Daft Punk for Stronger though? I guess we'll get back to that when we get to favorite songs. We'll circle back.
Yeah. Okay, my least favorites. I'm gonna go with I Wonder for sure. Everything I Am has the potential to be a good song. It's just, I don't know, it doesn't do it for me. It's too slow. Like it's kind of like a jarring pace change to me when you
That's
go
how I
from,
was on that song. Yeah, it wasn't that I just hated it. It was just it was there.
Yeah. It wasn't any like there's so many songs in this album I love, and that one I just don't have any strong opinions about, so I kind of take it as a I don't like it. And then the Glory's okay. I don't love it, so I think those would be my bottom three.
I'd put the Glory on there too. Sorry, I kind of forgot about that one.
That's okay.
I don't know why I'm apologizing. I don't owe you an apology.
You should apologize. Before we get into our favorite tracks, actually, you know what? No, I'll bring that up after. Let's go into favorite tracks. Christian, what do you got?
Oof. Oh, man.
Tracks, plural, with an S.
Yeah, Good Life, Can't Tell Me Nothing, Flashing Lights always have just this nostalgia flat factor for me. Like, that Can't Tell Me Nothing, like going back to that story. It's something that anytime it comes on, just like immediately brings me back. Flashing Lights, I think, just because I think what it did for a lot of other type of music, that song itself was redone and reused and remixed and acoustic versions that I heard, and every version was still so good. It's like it did something really cool for a lot of different kinds of music. What else? Homecoming, obviously.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
I think I listened to Barry Bonds like 8 times today. I will agree the chorus is like fucking dog shit, but that thing is a heater.
Dude, it's so good. And Wayne is really coming into his prime at that point, right? 2007, right before the Carter 3 drops. And you can tell that he's rapping to really prove something, even just in that song. His flow in it is immaculate. It's great.
Yeah. And Good Morning, like that being the intro track really just like set the tone for me. And it does every single time I like give it a rinse through all the way. It's like, oh, we're back.
Yeah. 100%.
It's also Trey? Just a great like morning track in general. Like you wake up, you throw that song on, you're feeling good.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys watched my Instagram story the other day.
No,
we didn't.
You definitely should watch my Instagram stories more. I watch Christians religiously. I don't watch Trey. I don't follow him. But
the fuck, dude? Are you serious?
My Instagram story the other day was I was outside like early in the morning smoking a cigar and drinking coffee and listening to Good Morning. It was great. It was like the perfect vibe.
You smoke cigars now? Like in the morning time?
Yeah, dude, in the morning, like 10 a.m. Just get the day started.
Like a Black and Mild or like a real ass cigar?
No, like a real cigar. You didn't see I'll send you the picture right now, but you can go into your favorite songs while I send this.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and get that sent over because I'm definitely going to make fun of it on this episode. Everything I Am is like a rare, humble Kanye, which I mean, I guess at this point wasn't as rare, but I think that song's just amazing. Good Morning is definitely on there. I like Champion a lot. I think it's kind of funny and goofy in like the best ways, especially like the chorus. And Homecoming. So I'm pretty aligned with Christian on this. Can't Tell Me Nothing is the song that should have been in all the trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely been used in them since, I think.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But it wasn't in the UFC Never Back Down era
right.
of cinema. If you want to call Never Back Down part of cinema.
You actually bring up a really good point. It's funny that you say that about Everything I Am because this, like you said, now it's not so common for him not to be braggadocious and pretentious, but like this album kind of started that era of Kanye, right? Like you can tell in tracks like Stronger, Lyrics like "There's 1,000 yous, there's only one of me," and "You should be honored by my lateness." He kind of leaned into that persona more than he had prior, and then "Everything I Am" is kind of a break from that. But I think it set him on that course of like, yeah, I am the greatest living rock star on the planet, which is a real Kanye quote, which I agree with, by the way. I know you
do. I mean, it's still braggadocious, but it's like braggadocious with a hint of like reality. You know what I mean? Where he's like, there are negative things about me, but those negative things make me who I am. You know, that's kind of the general theme of the song.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, in songs like, I don't know, every song on Yeezus, there's no negative things about Kanye. And
because there's not.
Positive. Yeah, because there's not, because he's the greatest living rock star on the planet.
Star on the planet, yeah.
Which is
just so everyone knows, Trey is being facetious. I am not. So I just want to set that precedent now that everybody knows that.
I don't know why you got to say facetious when you could just say sarcastic. You know, it's just kind of pretentious of you.
I think facetious like works better. I like it better.
It's
everyday
more powerful, but it's I don't know, man. I don't know.
Blake became a hat guy and somehow got a vocabulary. And
you like it, Christian? Do you like this hat? Do you like it?
He has two of them. He has the exact same hat in a reverse color.
Yeah, white with black lettering.
That's pretty cool.
It'd be way cooler if it said baddie instead.
Yeah, I know. It definitely would.
You know, I feel like on our first episode, we really strayed away from us just shitting on each other all the time. I want to make sure that doesn't happen again because that's who we really are.
Well, you want us to shit on each other more?
Yeah, I think we should shit on each other more.
Oh, okay. I can work on that.
Cool. I know you can. You're really good at it.
What does your shirt say? I can start with that. What are you fucking wearing?
It's really bad. I really wish you wouldn't have brought that up. It says, if she don't suck me like a crab leg, I'm calling my Old Bay. And it's a picture of Old Bay.
Yeah, there we go.
Seasoning. This is my trash t-shirt wear on the house. I got it from a fish show from a friend.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move past that. My favorite tracks.
You asked.
I gotta go. So what I was gonna say earlier was this album is like, there's a lot of albums that we've talked about in the past that we're gonna talk about that are very either back half heavy or front half heavy. I feel like this album, the middle section of it is so heavy with great fucking tracks. So I think my top three: Flashing Lights, Barry Bonds, and then I'm sorry, I got to do this. I got to say Drunken Hot Girls. I just love that song so much.
I just feel like you're saying that to be a contrarian.
I'm really not. Like 7 through 9 is such a good run, dude. I don't know. You guys are sleeping on that song. That's all I can really say about it.
That's fair.
We literally aren't, but yeah,
we're not. We're not sleeping on Drunken Hot Girls.
And you know what? It really just shows more about you than it does us, and the listeners will hear that. So
I do have to say that I like Mos Def's voice on that song. Like, it's like kind of drippy. I don't know. Other than that, song's terrible.
Very interesting adjective to describe that.
I don't know.
Okay, we talked about with that original trilogy, its ranking. Do you guys want to maybe throw where it ranks throughout his entire discography at all?
I feel like that's a whole conversation.
That's too much of a commitment for you?
I don't know, man. Like 4, I feel like is fair. 5, maybe. Let's see. I'm looking at things I would put ahead of it. So obviously, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is number 1.
Yep.
I would probably put College Dropout at 2. Probably put 808s at 3. And then, yeah, I mean, it's a solid 4 or 5 spot, depending on how I'm feeling. Depending on how I'm feeling about Watch the Throne.
Yeah, and I don't really count that, to be completely honest.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Christian?
If I spoke on this, I would only embarrass myself because I'm not as versed in his entire discography, so I don't fucking know, bitch.
That's fair.
I like that.
I'm somewhere around the 4 spot too. I do want to do at some point, if we keep doing this and people keep listening and we keep liking it, I want to pick major artists like Ye and Drake and Jay-Z and Eminem and like rank their whole discography. So we don't.
Bitch, I don't give a fuck if people listen to this or not. We're doing this until we fucking die. What are you talking about?
Hell yeah, dude.
Maybe not until we die. That seems like a big commitment for me. I'm pretty scared of commitment in
You
general.
are
so.
scared of commitment in general?
Yeah, let's not do it until we die. Maybe like through this year. And then we'll see how the cookies crumble.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, personal rankings. What number do you guys give graduation overall? Christian, you can start it.
I'm going to give it a 6.84.
Okay, interesting.
Okay. Hold on. Absolutely fucking not. If we're going to use the decimals, we're going to...
Hold on just a minute. What?
No, we're not given to 0.8 random. Like it's got to be at a numeral of like 0.25. I feel like that's fair.
What? 7.
Okay, thank you. If that works.
Smooth the fuck on. It's my fucking ranking, bitch. You can shove yours up your ass if you want to. This is mine. I can do with it what I please.
How would I go about shoving my ranking up my ass? And I'm serious. I want you to explain this to me in gross detail how I would do that.
I'm going to go ahead and move the conversation forward. Trey, what do you personally rank this?
Yeah, Blake, I want you to go first. I feel like you're kind of gaining a lot of power here, and I would just rather you go first.
Okay, I can do that. I will say it is a 7.5.
Okay. I would also give it like a 7.25.
Oh, this is why you wanted me to go first, so you could just fucking piggyback off my opinion.
No, I would I would give it an 8 in all seriousness.
I was waiting on you to give it to go 7.24. Just 7.
I would give it an 8. I think it's a very, very solid 8.
That's fair. Okay, I just want to rattle off a couple. What? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, sounded like you're going to say something. Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Some numbers. So selling over 957,000 copies in the first week of sales. Fucking huge. Almost went platinum. It has since sold over 5 million copies in the United States and been certified quintuple platinum by the RAAA. 5 accompanying singles were released, including the international hit Stronger, Good Life, and Homecoming, with the former of the 3 top in the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. Album received widely positive reviews from music critics, with several of them praising the production, and earned West his 3rd Grammy Award for Best Rap Album. So that kind of puts in the context what Graduation did at the time and for Kanye. I do also want to talk about... where is this? Okay, so there's this article on Complex, which makes me sick to read because I hate major music publications, but I did it anyway.
Hold on, can we get a drum roll into Blake hates major music publications?
No, segment? This one isn't this one's not me making fun of them, surprisingly.
Okay.
It's basically just talking about why Graduation is so important. And one of the reasons is the emergence of electronic arena rap. And it says, after going on tour with U2, Ye became infatuated with the idea of making rap anthems suited for arenas rather than just clubs and cars. That vision meant more electronic sounds and eventually blossomed into some of the best cuts from Graduation, like Flashing Lights, Stronger, and Can't Tell Me Nothing. These songs were built to be chanted by millions, and Kanye succeeded in steering hip-hop in a new direction. The reason I wanted to bring that up is, do you guys think that is the case? Like, do you think we would have the type of rap music we have now without Graduation? I think people talk about this album and kind of what it did for hip hop as a whole, but I just kind of wanted to hear your thoughts on whether we would be in kind of the era we're in now had Graduation not come out.
I think
no, I don't think so at all. Trey, you can go ahead if you got something.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't tell if you were gonna. I think Kanye definitely paved he's Drake's daddy, right? And like with 808s a little bit more than this album, but in the same way that like Drake does, like is like an arena rapper, and there's others, that are in the same light. That's kind of what those songs did for rap music, is they paved the way for for rappers to sell out major arenas and do songs like what you're talking about. So I would agree with the Consequence of Sound in this.
It was complex, but word.
Complex, whatever. I just like Consequence of Sound.
Yeah, I know you do. Christian, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I was also going to say, I think just Kanye's sound in general, especially with this album, I mean, what he does extremely well from a production standpoint is something that violently changed music, rap music specifically, that I think poised it for arenas, utilizing samples that would normally be played in arenas, like talking, with Daft Punk or whatever, and how he samples music is done in such an interesting and different way than I think it was normally done previously in hip hop, that has helped pave that way to create songs that are built for arenas.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And almost to, like, they talk about like it not being club music anymore. That kind of was the hip hop world before this, right? Like you played it in clubs, and rappers played small arenas or small clubs and small places because that's kind of what their music tailored to, right? Like just heavy drums and just club bangers. And he kind of changed the landscape around that, and how you kind of build an album and build a tour off of it. He had the Glow in the Dark tour that year. It sparked the infamous Bonnaroo incident, which we're not going to get into. But yeah, that was when he was wearing the glow in the dark glasses. It was heavy, like, the neon lights, the purple, the glowing, like it was just a whole different, it kind of changed not only the music, but the touring aspect of hip hop as well. It was kind of really interesting how that paved out.
Man, it would have been awesome to catch one of those shows.
Yeah, that would have been really fucking sick.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Just too young, just young little Blake and Trey and Christian, just not ready for that world.
Just riding our bikes to the pool.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys remember that there was a fake beef between 50 Cent and Kanye at the time? Did you hear about that?
I did not. I do not remember this. Enlighten me.
So they basically, like, they're really good friends, but they went on basically a media campaign. Like, they were on the cover of Rolling Stone together and doing a bunch of shows, basically seeing who could outsell who on the first week of these album releases. Because 50 released Curtis. He was originally supposed to release Curtis a week prior, and Kanye moved up his release date to be with 50's. And so they were basically competing to see who could sell more. So the numbers we talked about, first week sale, Kanye 957,000, Curtis 691,000. So he beat him there. At the time of this article, current sales were 2.7 million for Kanye, 1.4 for 50. Total sales for the album songs, 11.9 for Kanye, 3.2 for 50. And then US on-demand streams for the album songs, 2.3 billion for Kanye, 305.3 million for 50 Cent. So, I mean, I love my boy 50, but he kind of fucking murdered him on basically every metric you can look at.
It's okay. 50 went broke and started doing ads for vitamin water. So who's the real winner here?
Well, I know there's a rapper that's done an ad for fucking crypto, which, like, is there anything more embarrassing than that?
Dude, what are you talking about? I'm a huge crypto guy.
You seem like the type, actually. Do you have a wallet? That's what they call it. A wallet?
No.
I'm really in tune with the crypto zeitgeist, so I know what they call stuff.
Yeah, no, I do. I do. I spend my money like a real American. I, make a bunch and live paycheck to paycheck. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, baby.
Buying steaks on Tuesdays.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Anyway.
Well, I don't have much else. I guess we already gave our rankings, but Pitchfork gave it an 8.7. Rolling Bone, haha, good one. Gave it 4.5. Those are really all the big reviews I could find of it. Consequence of Ass didn't release one. Another good one by me. God, I hate so yeah, I think we're pretty much on par with those, with our daddies, the major media publications.
Since when we were kind of picking to do this album this week, I know we had a few other ones we were considering, but I think we should just kind of talk a little bit about all the new music that came out this past week, just for a second.
Yeah, I like that idea. Do you guys have any fun? Christian shook his head no, dude.
Yeah,
he doesn't like that idea.
Christian's got a girlfriend now.
No. Listen, because I swear to fucking God, if y'all bring up Intergalactic, I swear to fucking God.
It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was
don't-
going to be.
It's not. I listen. You know what? Did I? I did.
He did.
I hate him as a human, and I can't even speak his name into existence to give him more life.
His name is Kid Cudi. Say his name.
Say his name.
Say his name.
Say it right now.
Name. Oh.
Oh, all right. Before we get into that, any final thoughts on Graduation? Anything we did not cover that you want to say, or are we done with it?
I'm done with it. I think we did a good job covering the album without talking about Kanye in the present tense, which is probably what a lot of people were waiting for us to get into. But, listen, Kanye in 2007 was an amazing artist and a very relatively sane human being.
Still is.
He did a lot for rap music, and I think we should always appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll cover present Kanye when we do our 3-part series, the Donda era.
I'm sorry, did you say present or president?
Both. When we do our 3-part The Donda series podcast, 3 hours covering the escapade that was Donda.
You're doing another podcast with other people that aren't me, because there's no fucking way I'm participating in that.
Yeah, I'll call Chad. Chad will do it with me.
Chad will do it with you.
Okay, yeah, so albums that came out this week. We had Intergalactic by, who was it by, Christian?
Couldn't tell you.
Say his name. Say his name. Christian, we're not moving forward till you say his name. Come on.
We're going to be here fucking a while then.
So we had the Tory Lanez album, which, hang on a second. I don't have remember I told y'all that my Spotify is like severely fucked on my computer. Mm-hmm. So I can't pull shit up like on demand like the way that I would like to. Hang on. I'm in the browser. Okay. So we had the Tory Lanez album, Sorry for What. We had the Freddie Gibbs album, Soul Sold Separately. And then we had Cudi's album, Intergalactic. Am I missing anything?
Oh, we also had the Tyler Childers album, Can't Take My Hounds to Heaven. Can I Take My Hounds to Heaven?
Who?
Dude, we're talking about this album, dude. It's amazing. The concept of it is fucking incredible. And I'm sorry that you don't like anything other than rap music, but me and Christian do. All
right. You guys can talk about it.
Christian, let's talk about Can I Take My Hounds to Heaven.
I gotta go get water, so you guys take it.
Oh God.
I snagged it on vinyl. I thought it was amazing. Like the 3-piece concept series of each was. So what I was worried about, because when he did that just 2-piece release or the 2-song release, whatever it was before the album, I was like, how is this going to go? Are you going to actually be able to tell these differences in it? And they are violently different in the best ways.
Yeah. I agree. The first 2 songs, what song was it that he put out? It was the actual song. It was Angel Band.
Angel Band.
Yeah. And so I would actually say that of the entire album, those 2 tracks that he put out first were the ones that sounded the most similar. And then everything else is entirely different. Like I can pick it out. I think
that's why it was so hard. Like I didn't know what it was going to be. I was like, they're all like this. I don't know if I'm stoked about it, because you really can't tell that much of a difference unless you just.
So for our listeners that might not be as privy to the new Tyler Childers record, he put out an album that he recorded 8 songs in 3 different ways. So the first version is called the Hallelujah version, and it's basically kind of a little bit more like boisterous instruments, more horns, a little bit more of what you'd call like a full band. And then Jubilee is the second version, and it's like stripped down, has a little bit more like a bluesy, like steel guitar feel to it. And then the third version is called Joyful Noise, and it's essentially electronic remixes using samples from each individual song. And if you think that country electronica sounds like dog shit, well, boy, let me tell you, you would typically be right, but in this case, you would be wrong. Because it is amazing. Did
they pay Trey to say that? He said it like he was advertising the fucking album.
I am.
If you were privy to this brand of music, well, boy, let me tell you, this will surely change your mind.
I'd be a great ad man. Put me in a fucking Marlboro ad. No, Joyful Noise is like shockingly good. Like if someone told me on paper, "Hey, listen to this electronic country music album," I'd be like, "Go fuck yourself." But I think even you might enjoy it, Blake.
I'll give it a spin. I'll give it a sniff for sure.
I'd appreciate you giving it a sniff with that honking nose you got.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, that's enough of me waxing poetic about Tyler Childers. Go check it out. Can I Take My Hounds to Heaven? It's fantastic.
Okay, so Intergalactic, we got to talk about it. Christian, you can sit this one out if you have to, but we got to touch on it. Trey, what do you think?
I thought that it was a perfectly acceptable piece of music. I think it's perfectly fine. It's not great. It's not terrible. Some of the beats ride. I know we were talking about new mode specifically,
which everybody's been talking about.
Yeah, that beat rides. The single with Ty Dolla $ign's pretty tight.
Yeah.
What's that one called? Willing to Trust. The other ones are just like your typical post Man on the Moon 2 Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
Kind of drone on, not bad, not good. It's fine.
I think the thing that fucked me up about it was like knowing that it was, what was it? It was a movie. What did we decide what it was? A movie?
Dude, no one fucking knows, man.
It's a movie, kind of. I don't know.
But no that, like knowing that going in is what it changed how I heard it. Everything felt like I was trying to pair it up to a scene that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
It was like I was trying to imagine it in that instance and not take it as a song.
I want to watch I'm going to watch the movie, show, whatever. I mean, it is good enough to intrigue me to watch the movie or show. Like, I bet it'll be pretty good. And I think they have the same animators as the new the Spider-Man animated movie.
It's a very similar style. It doesn't look as smooth, like it doesn't look as high budget, but it is like the exact same animation style. It just looks like done the Kid Cudi way, which is like half-assed and rushed.
Yeah.
But,
dig.
Yeah, so I'm with Christian. Like everything leading up to it was so annoying to me that it just put a bad taste in my mouth before I could like even hear the album. It's going to release before Man on the Moon 3. No, it's going to release after Man on the Moon 3. It's going to release in 2023. Oh no, it's going to release in 2022. It's not a soundtrack for a show. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Like it was such a marketing fucking disaster that I couldn't take it seriously. With that being said, I need to listen to it maybe in like a week when I'm over just what a shit show that was and give it another rinse. Cause like you said, I thought it was really average, but Jalen texted me and was like, "You're wrong about this Cudi album. It's amazing." So I don't know. I need to give it another spin. Did you guys listen to the Freddie Gibbs album?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. The Freddie Gibbs album, Soul Sold Separately, is the best of what came out this past weekend. One of his best. It's just it's banger after banger. He does such a good job. Even the slow tracks are somehow bangers. I don't know how he does it. The Anderson .Paak song with Raekwon, fucking amazing. The Rick Ross song, amazing. Even Pain and Strife with Offset is sick. I went into it like I'm not a big Freddie Gibbs guy. I went into it totally blind, basically. I just needed to wash the taste of Intergalactic out of my mouth. And man, it fucking delivered.
We were talking throughout that day, and I was like, I'm waiting until I have to get up and like clean my kitchen or something, and I'm assuming this is going to give me the energy to do it. And I put that album on. I felt like I could run through a brick wall. It's just bar after bar after Coke wrapper bar.
My fucking nose was itchy, bro.
I swear. I was about to go back to my old ways after listening to that album. That shit was awesome.
Old ways is in like a week and a half ago. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, the Pusha T song highlighted the album because everything that Pusha does is just he's Pusha, man.
Built by Kanye.
Yep, exactly.
That Freddie Gibbs album is something special. I wouldn't mind doing a whole episode on that and just on Freddie Gibbs in general because, like, I mean, at this point, his catalog is like superb.
Yeah,
He's definitely climbing into the your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, but like best of your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah, Bandana, the album that came out in 2019 is really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. You got anything? No,
Christian.
And then last, the Tory Lanez album. Which have you guys listened to Tory Lanez, or did you listen to that album?
Is that like a bowling alley in Denver?
Shut the fuck up. Don't use my joke of who is this artist, because people know Tory Lanez. They don't know your little bluegrass, banjo, electronic guy, all right? They know Tory Lanez.
So we already just sold out 3 nights at Red Rocks, but yeah, I guess no one knows who he is.
Yeah, well, I mean, Pretty Lights can do that, and he's a landlord, so it's not really saying much.
Hey, Pretty Lights is we will not have any Pretty Lights slander on this podcast.
Oh, yes, that was great.
He is a landlord.
Well, then we don't really have to talk much about it. Tory Lanez, he's like he's like a better Chris Brown to me. Like, he's kind of like an R&B rap guy, and I didn't really listen to him much before, but I like the album. I mean, it's very Chris Browny at points, but the intro track goes really fucking hard, and when he really wants to rap, he can rap really well. So it was enjoyable, but so I played the Freddie Gibbs album way more.
He's more like a verbal abuse guy, or
yeah. He's like Chris Brown without
like C-list people.
Yeah, he's Chris Brown without the domestic violence, basically.
I like that you said he's Chris Brownie. Like he's a little Chris Brownie. Oh God.
Okay, I do not really want to talk about Housewives of the Dragon. I'm assuming you guys don't really want to either.
I'm kind of good. I enjoy it, but like, it's nothing to write home about. I do love the fact that you're calling it Housewives of the Dragon, because that's very accurate.
Thanks. Did you guys watch Dahmer?
I have
gone through a couple of episodes of it, but I haven't finished it all.
Dude, me and Christian would be cooked in the Dahmer era. We wouldn't make it. Let me tell you why. I realized this watching it. Because he goes to bars, right? He'll just go to a bar and he's like, oh, you want to go back to my place and maybe I'll take some pictures of you and I'll give you $50? He would say that but he's always like, but no weird stuff though, just some pictures. He would say that to Christian, and Christian would be like, I'll only go if there's weird stuff. And he'd be like, okay, and you can come back. You can just come back to my place. And then for me, he'd be like, oh, you want to go back to my place? I got $50. And I'd be like, do you have beer there? And he'd be like, yeah, I got some Milwaukee Light. And I'd be like, I'm in, baby. The only thing that would save Trey, is he would ask him to go back to his house, and Trey would be like, bro, better idea. I got function ones at my place. We go back to my place, and I'll show you the greatest tipper set you've never heard in your life. That would be the only saving grace for Trey in the Dahmer era.
No, $50 just wouldn't be enough to lure me back to a dude's house. That'd be like 100 at least.
The whole show. Wait, Christian, how many episodes did you get in?
How long did you think of that joke?
I didn't. I realized it the other day watching, because I realized how easy it was for him to get men. And then in my mind, I was like, who would do that? And then I was like, I would probably do that, to be honest. And that's what made me think of it. It is really funny, though. It's not funny, but it is kind of funny. The only reason he gets away with what he's doing is because Milwaukee cops are so homophobic and stupid that they just like can't bring themselves to investigate stuff. So he takes this 14-year-old boy, and the cops come and they like find him outside, like bleeding and like drugged. And Jeffrey Dahmer's like, oh, that's my boyfriend. What's going on? Is everything okay? And they're like, oh, you're gay? And he's like, yep, I'm super gay. And they're like, okay, no need to investigate that any further. And then they literally go into his apartment, and they're like, can we take a look around for a second? Are we going to see some gay stuff? And he's like, oh, there's some gay stuff in here. And they're like, okay, everything checks out.
First off, I'll be honest, I'd love to shit on you, but this Midwestern accent you got going on is fucking amazing. I mean, it is just spot on. Okay, just some gay stuff. Don't want to see any of that.
He's like, oh, I got some pictures of my boyfriend. They're like, oh, are you guys being gay in them? He's like, yep, super gay. I swear to God, dude. Like, that's the only reason that he got away with everything. It's really hard to watch.
Have you finished it?
No, we're like 5 episodes in, so we're moving along pretty well.
Nothing screams I'm in a committed relationship quite like using a plural pronoun when describing how far you into a TV show.
That is accurate. That is accurate.
I'm looking forward to watching it. All right, we doing it?
It's time. Hang on a second. Hang on 1 second for me. And just everybody hang on. Okay. And
it's time for your favorite segment and mine. It's Trey's terrible Twitter takes.
Woo-hoo! Wait, hang on. All right, what do you got for us today?
All right, for our first Twitter take of the day, it is former Republican nominee for president Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich on September 20. Well, let me give a little bit more of a backstory here. Currently in Pennsylvania, I think it's the Senate race. Unusual candidate named John Fetterman is running for the Democratic seat. Or he's running for the seat. He's the Democratic nominee. Kind of an interesting guy. He like wears sweatshirts and has like tattoos and shit. Is a little bit like more alternative than you typically see politicians.
Nice.
I kind of like him. He's running on a few different platforms. Legalizing marijuana in Pennsylvania is one of them. Shit like that. So Newt Gingrich says on December 26th, 2022, Twitter handle is @Newt Gingrich. This is a real tweet. I want to make sure it's understood that I vetted this, made sure it's a real account, blue check, all that. Is Pennsylvania Democrat Fetterman's tattoo, "I will make you hurt," based on his ties to the Crip gangs, as reported by the Free Beacon, or a reference to the 9 Inch Nails heroin song, "Hurt"? Fetterman won't answer questions. Real tweet. This is a real tweet from Newt Gingrich.
How does he know the name of the 9 Inch Nails songs?
How does he know it's a heroin song? It's not even inherently a heroin song.
Oh, that's the dude. The dude in Pennsylvania, he's like fucking yoked, isn't he? Isn't he huge?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's yoked. He's kind of a big boy.
Oh.
Yeah. But he's running against Dr. Oz, like from TV.
Oh, of course he is.
Dr. Oz is like a wild Republican. It's
right,
awesome.
Yeah, because our politics has just become a fucking television show. Awesome.
I mean, Fetterman's a little goofy too, honestly, but I don't know. He's kind of fun. So that's gonna be my first terrible Twitter take for the day. Any other questions about Mr. Fetterman and Mr. Gingrich?
No, that was a good one.
All right, this is a quote tweet. So it's a picture of a lovely couple walking down the aisle. And the caption it's from Rap Alert @RapAlert4. This is from a tweet that was from about a year ago. I think
the quote tweet is just Trey, like, "I want it so bad, please somebody, anybody."
No.
Okay.
Haha, so funny.
Okay,
moving on. Miguel and his wife Nazanin Mandy separate after 17 years of being together and 3 years of marriage. And then Queen's Child Project quote tweeted that and said, "See, they rushed into it. Now look what happened."
Is that me, bro?
So that's just a reminder to everyone to, stay single forever.
Do you remember when Miguel body slammed that chick's head into the stage?
No. Oh, yeah, when he kicked her in the head?
No, he tried to jump from one stage to the other. It was like a split stage, and he slammed their head into the fucking he fucking suplexed that girl. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
You're okay. You're kind of breaking my gate, but it's whatever. All right, this is just kind of not necessarily a take. It's just a funny tweet. This one says, "No condom forever," or whatever the fuck Black Panther said.
Oh man, that was good.
All right, thanks. That was just that one. That one doesn't even deserve conversation. That was just like a little quick boy. And then this one comes from Twitter user Danya @DXXNYA. And there's a picture that she took, and it looks like it's from either Bumble or Hinge, not from Tinder. Not that I would know the difference in the text types between the three apps, but I would, guess it was one of the other two.
Right.
And it's someone asking her, "Hi, would you step on ants with shoes on in a video if you were paid? You could become God to ants. I am looking to pay someone long term to be God to the ants." And she said, "What a proposition."
I like her.
I like her too.
She seems open to it.
You know who I like more is the guy who sent that initial message, because he's just saying what he wants. He's being outright and honest. Right. He just wants someone to be a god to the ants.
That's all you can ask for.
It's really all you can ask for in a relationship. And that wraps up Trey's terrible Twitter takes.
All right, those were solid. You knew where they were on your computer. You had them ready to go. You fucking hit it out of the park.
Thanks, dude. I really worked hard. I practiced a lot. I was just talking to my dog,
Your big things are words of affirmation. I do know that about you, so I wanted to extend that to you.
People always say that, but I don't even know if that's necessarily true. I think I'm more of like a give me gifts type guy.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
All right.
I think that about fucking does it for Totally Biased Music episode 2. Any closing thoughts, final statements from the hosts?
Christian, you got anything?
Keep it wet.
All right.
I mean, well said, playa.
All right. Okay. On that note, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We will be back next Tuesday. We love you all, and we'll see you later.